Welcome to this edition of FM On Demand. I'm your host, Mike Bizalka. Today I'm speaking with John Mayer, Director of Food Services for management company Culinary Services Group at the Jackson Parish Hospital in Louisiana, where Culinary Services Group took over management of the patient and retail dining program at the beginning of this month. He is joining us today to talk about the changes and upgrades the company has made in the hospital's dining program. John, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir. No, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Let me start by asking about the patient dining program. What are the major changes and upgrades that Culinary Services Group implemented there?
Well, the two that come to mind are we're making patient contact. We're up there in their rooms asking them, and the second thing is the choices that they have for each meal. We take a computer device up in the rooms. We ask them what they want for lunch, dinner, and breakfast the next morning, and they're given a choice of, according to what their diet is, of course, and what they're allowed to have. They're given a choice, sometimes up to 7 items for each diet. So that is one of the big, the ones that they notice the most is, they're not used to seeing a dietary outside of a nutritionist telling them bad news. And we're up there actually asking them how they want their eggs and if they want bacon or sausage. And it's nice to get to know the patients too, because you're down in the kitchen and you think to yourself, well, he's up there, he's on a liquid diet. Let's double up on the orange juice. He doesn't like the Gatorade, he likes the grape. It's a very personal touch, and I think it's opened up the hospital to a lot of positive things.
It sounds like you really are getting to know the customers. What are some of the highlights of that patient menu? Some of the key items.
Oh, well, we have it's a Homestyle driven menu. I'm sure it's very regional. I'm in Louisiana. Today, for example, we had jambalaya, we had fried okra and hot water cornbread. The patients that were on diabetic diets, of course, couldn't indulge, but we did have some, or not diabetic, but rather cardiacs. All the other choices behind all the extensions behind each entree or each special that I come up with are very user friendly. Since we have several menus, each one of them is coded renal, cardiac, diabetic, liquid only, neutropenic. We've put extensions behind all of our specials, and each one of these menus has a very palatable and low country fare on it. So we really want people to feel at home when they're here. I mean, it's heartbreaking enough being in the hospital, and this is going to really break through. I think it's going to.
Absolutely. What about the retail end for staff and visitors? What's new there?
Well, the staff, because the coronavirus kind of took the visitors out of the hospital, especially in the retail side of it. The cafe still stands. This is where the staff gets their meals every day, breakfast and lunch. We're going to set up a box program for them. We've got some reach-in refrigeration coming. We're going to make some box snacks and dinners, some microwavable fare for the third shift. Right now, what they're doing is giving us a piece of paper. They get a paycheck withdrawal for $3 for breakfast, $5 for lunch, and they get a really good top-notch meal. We've got some great feedback from the staff. We're doing a continental breakfast for them on Saturday and Sundays, so it's going to grow and grow. Eventually, we'll do dinners. We're going to bring the public, and I mean, this is a small town. It's the people used to gather in this cafeteria, this little cafe here after church. They used to come down and have a breakfast and all meet. There were little town meetings here. I mean, it was really a center, and so we're really looking forward to getting that back. And it's got great bones. We just want to really make it feel comfortable and homey when they get back here.
What's been popular early on the retail end?
Grab and go sandwiches. I've got Rotella's bread. We brought that in last week. We've got boar's head sliced meats. They've got beautiful kitchen equipment here too. I can make a lot of stuff from scratch. it really is a limitless situation. And really what I want to do is put in front of them what they want,
Mhm.
I know what I like, but it's a learning process. I mean, knowing I put a nice piece of snapper out the other night, and I really thought I'd be, showered with praise. But one of my cooks said, I think what you need to understand is they're catfish people. I'm like, okay,
To each
I get,
their own.
I get it now. Yeah, hush puppies and catfish, not snapper and saffron rice. So point taken. I got to remember where I am.
Well, live and learn. Finally, let me just ask you, I mean, the importance of a quality meal service to patients and staff in a healthcare institution. Tell me about that.
I have to be honest with you. When they called me for this job, I've been in retail, restaurant business. I've been in fine dining, casual theme, 40 years. Washington D.C., New York, Boston, Laguna Beach, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas. Finally, I'm here in Louisiana. I get this opportunity, and I lost my mom last December, and she was spent a lot of time in hospitals, and she was in Virginia. My sister would call me, and where it was heartbreaking because she was getting the finest care, but she's a foodie, and so whenever she went to these hospitals, my sister, it broke her heart that she had to leave my mom to be fed by a kitchen that didn't really seem to care about her needs at all. So that is a big part of the reason why this effort is very personal to me. I know the effect that good food, I mean, I'm up in those rooms and my girls are up in those rooms every single day. How was breakfast? And the joy. I mean, I've never gotten such great feedback on what we call hospital food. I mean, that's a phrase. It's like airplane food. Nobody has any good associations with it, but that's going to change. And that's starting right here.
Well, it sounds like it's changing there. John, thank you so much for giving us your thoughts today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.